Hi, it's Maggie the Irish Gypsy here to bring you your March 2022 mid-month general readings. We are looking at the last 2 weeks of March, and this reading is for the fire sign of Leo. Welcome, everyone. I hope, as always, that you're doing well. Thanks for taking the time to be here and for all that you do in support of this channel. Your likes, shares, subscribing, watching the videos, your comments, feedbacks, everything you do. Thank you so much. So this reading is for Leo for the last 2 weeks of March 2022. That's if your sun, moon, rising, or Venus sign is in Leo. It's also relevant if you're cross-watching for a Leo. It's a general reading, so of course it's going to resonate a little differently for everyone. Make sure to watch all of your signs, sun, moon, rising, and Venus for any additional insight they may provide. And if you find that something does resonate with you and you'd like to reach out for a personal reading for yourself or someone else, perhaps take a deeper look at something, please reach out to me. You can email me directly at maggie1mcguire@gmail.com. You can also get that same contact info by clicking the little arrow, the description link attached to this video. I'd be delighted to hear from you. I do offer a wide variety of readings in all areas of life, and I can usually respond within the same day with more information. So email me if you're interested. Okay, Leo, let's see what the last 2 weeks of March 2022 look like for you. I am using the Tarot of Dreams and clarifying with Legacy of the Divine. Okay, Leo, last 2 weeks of March 2022. And we begin with the King of Wands, the King of Fire, Leo, Aries, Sagittarius, Sun, Moon, Rising, or Venus, showing up as a king, but this is a general reading, so it could be a female, this could be you, it could also be another relevant sign, fire sign that's showing up as relevant, or somebody who perhaps just has a lot of fire in their natal chart. The King of Fire would be charismatic, energetic, aggressive, assertive, a good leader, a go-getter, but for many of you, this could be just you. With the Knight of Cups, an offer coming in, driven by love, care, compassion, encouragement. Knights usually represent offers and opportunities for change, the speed at which situations move. The Knight of Cups is the Knight of Water, which is the element which governs the Suit of Cup, which is the element which governs the emotional area of life. So it could be a love offer, which, again, because this is a general reading, the intensity may vary, but it could be anything as casual as, going out on a date, or an actual love offer of some kind. Next, we have the Nine of Wands, the Wounded Warrior card. Now, tens represent cycle end in the tarot, the cycle coming full circle, coming to an end, or coming to an end in terms of achievement. So the Nine of Wands represents being very close to the end of a cycle. But it's called the Wounded Warrior card because it represents somebody who's already been through quite a bit, and they may have hit yet another snag or obstacle or hurdle of some kind. And so they're pausing, feeling perhaps maybe discouraged, depressed, wondering how you're going to get through this, or if it's worth continuing to push through this. Often this card represents pushing through to the end, not always, but it does represent feeling like you've hit a point where you're discouraged as to perhaps getting through something or something coming to fruition. With the Nine of Wands, we have the Hanging Man, which can represent feeling like you're in stasis and limbo. It's a card that does represent taking no direct action or decisions or choice making, because something is still playing out. You're waiting, you're watching, you're seeing something playing out. And even if you, I have a very strong feeling about this, even though you're feeling discouraged, there's a sense of it not being the right time to do anything quite yet, to make any decisive choices or take action just yet, because something is still in play. You may be gaining more information, waiting, watching. Next, we have the Six of Cups, a card typically associated with historical connections, like family, old friends, old lovers, roots of origin, childhood, believing in things the way that a child does, very idealistically. It's also one of the secondary soulmate cards. With the Six of Cups, we have the Three of Coins, teamwork, collaboration, compromise and negotiation. working with another person or a group of people to come to a common agreement, getting everybody on the same page, which can be kind of tricky. Sometimes getting everybody to agree on a common goal or a common cause or a way to achieve something can be difficult, which is why it requires compromise and negotiation. From the bottom of the deck, representing overall energy for the last 2 weeks of March, we have the Devil, which it can represent addictions, it can represent, it's obsessive energy. It's a lot of energy put into one area that can sometimes become detrimental or unhealthy to the person that is doing the obsessing or the focusing, which is why it's a card that comes up for addictions. The Devil enslaves and entraps, or that energy, through something alluring, something that we feel we have to have. So it can represent toxic cycles as well, an overabundance of energy in one area. It feels, I'm going to clarify here, it feels, Leo, like you're waiting for something. You're waiting for a specific offer or opportunity. It might be in the realm of love and romance because this Knight of Cups, but again, because it's a general area, it can be in any other area of life as well. And it feels like the difficulty is in getting the other person or other people on board to agree to something. I'm feeling a little bit too like there's a karmic note here or a karmic thread here. For example, if this is like a love and romance situation or a situation with another specific person, there might be other people around that are part of it. But it feels like for many of you, there's one specific person on the other side here, and you're waiting for them to offer something or to present something, and you're frustrated because it feels like it's been so long. And it may currently feel like you're not getting anywhere. But I feel like there's some kind of karmic connection. In love and romance, it feels like there's karmic, meaning typically that there's, if you believe in preordination, like you had a soul contract with someone that needs to be worked out now. There's that, and there's also fatedness that doesn't come from fatedness, that doesn't, meaning you're meant to be with this person, that doesn't come from having been together before, like in a past life. Because I am feeling that there's something, that this situation is here, or this relationship is here, or situationship is here because it's important in some way to your own growth and the other person's growth and evolution as a human being to work through this together, even though, again, it looks right now like you're frustrated with it. And there's a lot of obsession in this area too. Whether it's understandable or negative remains to be seen. Let's clarify that Devil. It could also represent that the obsessive energy of the Devil is, or negative cycle, is related to the other side, the other person. Clarify the Devil. The Nine of Coins, independence, self-sufficiency, self-empowerment. Someone who doesn't need anybody else so much because they can rely completely and solely on themselves. However, clarified by the Devil, this is taking it to an extreme which is perhaps not all that healthy. For example, if this is a love and romance relationship, for some of you, you may be wanting to take the relationship to the next level, or the other person may be wanting to take the relationship to the next level. But one person here is like, why would I do that if I don't need to? I don't want to depend or rely on somebody to that extreme. The Nine of Wands again. So again, we have this sense of, having been in this situation for some time and feeling discouraged, like it's whatever it is that you're wanting to achieve here is not going to happen. And the Three of Coins again. This is fundamentally being, this feels like a series of negotiations or conversations which have occurred over a fairly significant period of time with varying different results or degrees, but ultimately it's like negotiations which you keep entering into but which aren't really going anywhere. So you're feeling like perhaps considering giving up. Let's clarify this Knight of Cups. The Wheel of Fortune, divine timing and orchestration. The Fool, taking a chance, stepping off the path into the unknown, starting off on a brand new journey. Some of you for love and romance, which this feels like it is likely for a lot of you, but for others of you it could be, negotiating or trying to get somebody to come on board with what you want in another area of life. It's like somebody taking a risk, and you may be involved, the other person, the other significant person, even though I feel like there's other people around you guys as well. There's one significant person, and they may be a fire sign, and they may be, afraid, or for some of you, it might be you that are afraid to kind of step off the beaten path. Others of you, you're like waiting for this agreement. You're waiting for this offer. And you're relying heavily on divine timing and orchestration, meaning God, Spirit, angels, and guides to kind of work the situation for you or do whatever it is they feel may be necessary in this situation, because you're feeling like there isn't anything else you can do, if that makes sense. Clarify the Nine of Wands. And I have to say, I kind of feel like, Leo, you're being asked by Spirit to not take any decisive action just quite yet. Clarify Nine of Wands. The Ten of Cups. The happy home, marriage, childbirth, blessings, feeling like everything has finally come together in a really beautiful way. The happily ever after white picket fence card. This is what's clarifying this Nine of Wands card of feeling discouraged. Four of Coins. Yeah, somebody doesn't want to share. They don't want to give up. They don't want to give in. They don't want to take a risk, whether it's a financial and material risk or an emotional risk or some combination of both. Again, some of you, it feels like you're in a relationship, perhaps a long-term relationship with someone, and you or the other person wants to take this relationship to the next step, perhaps getting married, but somebody else doesn't. Probably because, almost always, because they have a fear of the past repeating itself, or if they've had negative experiences in the past. Let's clarify the Hanged Man. And that's what's frustrating you and making you feel like, well, I don't know, is this even possible? Am I fooling myself? Should I just give up? Clarify the Hanging Man, the Hanged Man. Death, yeah, final ending, transformations, rebirth. It feels like you're struggling, Leo, with whether to stick with this or end it. Because again, I get this sense of this weary sense, which is that Nine of Wands, Wounded Warrior card, right? Should I just give up? And the Ten of Cups indicates that it's something which significantly affects the happiness, harmony, peace of your home and family, whatever that is to you. For some of you, if this isn't love and romance, it may be centered, and again, it's centered around something that affects the home and family. It might be the property itself. It might be financial issues or something like that, because the link goes right back to home and family here. Others of you, it's marriage. Clarify the Six of Cups. Judgment. Yeah, Judgment is a pretty profound major arcana card that represents being at a really significant crossroads in life and needing to make a decision. It's also a card that's heavily spiritually driven, God, Spirit, angels, and guides. And when this is combined with the Six of Cups, traditionally, Leo, this is a card of karmic contracts with someone or with a certain situation in an area of your life, meaning that even if it wasn't, you weren't joined with this person in a previous life, whether as lovers or whether it's somebody else, you're meant to be working through whatever this situation symbolizes for you. For example, if it's love and romance and you're wanting to take it to the next level, and whatever issues are there, this is a combination of cards that traditionally represents, that even though this may be a difficult, challenging, or painful situation to be in, there's something in it that the two of you are meant to kind of work through something together. The resolvement of this in a positive way would represent change and growth in each of you that is meant to be. You're meant to be together to work through this for the purpose of some kind of evolution of yourselves as human beings here. Again, whether it's love and romance or a different type of relationship. Particularly in learning how to come together and to work together in a way where everyone can kind of come to the table. It's not just one person saying, okay, I'll do this, but it's going to be this way. And the other person is like, no, it's going to be this way. Because this is fundamentally about learning how to compromise and negotiate, to move forward, to work together, to collaborate, to learn how to, and part of the lesson, especially if this is an area you have problems with or the other person has problems with, learning how to, which is essential in the Three of Coins, compromise, negotiation, learning how to listen to everybody else's needs, wants, ideas, thoughts, opinions, feelings, and try to accommodate that without over-compromising yourself and vice versa. It's learning how to open up to other people and work with other people. Right? Which means that not everybody gets 100% of what they want, but they reach an agreeable compromise. But it requires opening up to hearing and to trying to see where the other person or people are coming from. And that's a pretty important step in learning how to be a healthy, connected human being. And there is a pretty strong sense here, I'm getting, Leo, of this being karmic, this situation being karmic. Even though it looks like it's fairly frustrating and has been. But again, I feel like you're being asked. This is one of those tricky readings where I completely empathize and feel the energy that you're going through. But it's also one of those things where it feels like Spirit is saying, look, we're doing things behind the scene you may not be privy to, because it feels like the other side, the other person or people are going through some kind of internal struggle. So don't act just yet. Don't do anything rash just yet. Don't do anything spontaneous or impulsive. No particular decisive action just yet. The Nine of Wands indicates that, even though you may be feeling very discouraged, you're closer than you think to the end of this thing. So just be patient, just a little bit longer. You're almost there. The resolvement of the situation. And whatever the resolvement is, it's difficult to say, well, in a general reading, impossible, right? It might work out one way for some of you and others a different way for another of you. But I feel like what Spirit wants here, which is almost always what Spirit wants, is healing and peace and unity here, to be able to come to a meeting of the minds in this situation or in this relationship. But it feels like there's a lot of work going on through God, Spirit, angels, and guides that you're not aware of. So just hang tight. It's always difficult to give that advice, right? I know it's been hard, but just hang on just a little tiny bit longer, right? All right, let's wrap this up by asking Spirit for any final guidance, advice. The Six of Coins, gift giving, gift receiving. It does represent that you may be gifted something. It also represents not to give too much, not to overcompromise too much. Whatever bottom line that you're on, just remain there. The Sun, light, love, warmth, laughter, the pressures being alleviated and lifted up. Four of Wands, the other happy home card, also the other marriage and wedding card. Six of Cups again, and the Six of Swords with it. So that's healing of the situation, healing of the relationship. And again, it feels like it's just around the corner, Leo. So again, the advice, which is always difficult to give when someone is struggling is to be patient. That the resolvement, which looks quite beautiful and quite positive, is just around the corner. All right, Leo, those are your messages for the last 2 weeks of March. I hope they were helpful and useful to you. Again, if any of this resonates with you enough that you'd like to take a deeper look at something, reach out for a personal reading for yourself or as a gift for someone else, please feel free to contact me directly at Maggie1McGuire@gmail.com. I'd be delighted to hear from you. And to work with you, you can also get that contact info by clicking the description link, the arrow below. I will see you all in a couple of weeks for the April general readings. Take care until then. Hope to see you back here again soon. Bye-bye.